I'm out collecting eggs from my hens, the morning sun warm on my back, when I catch sight of that first letter from the HOA stuffed in my mailbox like a bad omen. My farm, 6 acres of Wyoming dirt. Bursting with tomatoes, buzzing with chickens, and home to 2 goats that keep my grass neat, turns to ash in my mind as I read it, because that letter wasn't just a complaint. It was the spark that lit a fire, one that burned everything I'd built, my legacy, my dreams. But what the HOA didn't know was their biggest mistake wasn't torching my land. It was leaving a legal loophole, a tiny creek boundary, that became my weapon to burn their world right back. I'm Ellie Dawson, 42, a farmer who turned my grandpa's old land in Sagebrush Hollow into a slice of heaven, where fireflies dance at dusk and the air smells like fresh earth. For 5 years, I've grown the sweetest tomatoes you'd ever taste, raised 15 chickens like family, and sold flowers at the local market. All on land that was mine before the fancy houses of Crestview Heights sprouted up 3 years ago. Those big homes, with their perfect lawns and matching mailboxes, didn't fit my weathered barn or veggie patches, but we got along fine until Sharon Caldwell moved in. "Is that your rooster waking me at 5 a.m.? She snapped. First words out of her mouth, no hello. Just a scowl from our property line, her white pants glaring in the sun. "That's Hank, doing his job," I said, smiling, trying to keep it neighborly. "Farm life's noisy sometimes." Her lips pursed like she'd bitten a lemon. "This isn't a farm town anymore, Ellie. This is Crestview Heights, and we have standards." I wiped my hands on my jeans, calm but firm. "My land's not in your HOA, Sharon. I was here first, different zoning." She glared at my chicken coop, my compost pile, and muttered, "We'll see about that." The letters came fast after that. Weekly, on fancy Crestview HOA paper, listing violations: too many chickens, unsightly tools, improper fences, demanding fines I didn't owe, since my farm wasn't theirs to boss. I kept every one in a folder, gut telling me I'd need them. Sharon upped the ante, whining about my compost smell, though it was nowhere near her house, calling the city about my goats, snapping pics of stray chicken feathers. Neighbors started acting weird. Folks who'd bought my eggs, like Mrs. Rivera, stopped coming by. Others avoided my wave. Only Maria Lopez, walking her dog by my fence, stayed friendly, warning me one evening, "Sharon showing your farm pics at HOA meetings, calling it a health hazard. Says her husband's buddy on the zoning board can redraw lines." I didn't sleep easy after that, especially with my mom's health failing. She needed me for 2 weeks to help with her treatments. 3 hours away. I couldn't skip it. She had no one else. The day before I left, I saw Sharon with 3 suits, clipboards in hand, pointing at my land. Her smile, cold and sharp, twisted my stomach. I set up security cameras, asked my buddy Luis to check on my animals, and called the sheriff about trespassers. As I drove off, Sharon watched from her driveway, phone out. And I swear I saw Redkins lined up in her garage. Should have turned back, but Mom needed me. 2 weeks later, I'm driving home, and the sky's smudged gray, reeking of smoke. Not like a campfire, but something meaner. My heart's in my throat as I floor it, praying it's not what I think. Then I see it, my farm, gone. The garden I planted seed by seed, ash. The chicken coop I hammered together, rubble. My barn, a blackened skeleton. I slam the brakes, stumble out, calling for my hens. Henrietta, Ruby, nothing but silence answers. I drop to my knees in the warm ash, jeans soaking black. 5 years of sunrise to sunset work, my grandpa's dream, my home, all burned away. A white SUV pulls up, and out steps Sharon. Spotless as ever, with a guy in a suit, Carl Reynolds, HOA president. Sharon's got this tiny smirk, like she's won something. "Looks like the farm issue's handled," she says, cool as ice. I'm on my feet, voice cracking. "You did this? You killed my animals." Carl clears his throat, all business. "We removed violations, coop, compost, non-approved structures. Contractors got out of hand. Maybe the dry grass spread it." Sharon chimes in, "Your farm's in Crestview now, rezoned last month. You're under our rules." I'm reeling, rezoned. No notice, no chance to fight. But then I see it. Glinting in the ash, my survey marker, solid as ever, right where the county set it. My land's edge, by the creek. Something's off, and I'm not done. "You made a mistake, Sharon," I say, low and steady, "and you'll regret it." Her smirk falters, just for a second, before Carl hustles her away, tossing a rulebook in my mailbox. 30 days to comply, he calls, like they still own me. I'm in my living room 3 days later, coffee cold, eyes raw from tears and no sleep, papers everywhere, county records, my deed, anything to prove them wrong. My hands shake as I find it on page 47. The rezoning stopped at Willow Creek, the stream cutting through my land. My coop, garden, barn, all east of the creek, outside Crestview's reach. They burn what they couldn't touch. I grab my survey, the creek's line clear as day, and call the county. Maggie, it's Ellie Dawson. I say urgent. That rezoning on County Road 12, does it cross Willow Creek? Maggie's voice is warm. Nope, creek's the boundary. I'll email the maps. They arrive, and it's true, my farm's free. I'm shaking. Not with grief now, but fire. I drive to the sheriff's, maps in hand. They burn my farm illegally, I tell Deputy Hank Miller, showing the boundary. His eyes go wide. This is big, Ellie. We'll investigate. I'm not waiting, though. Tonight's the HOA meeting, and I'm crashing it. I walk into the Crestview Community Center at 7 p.m., clean jeans, button-up shirt. Stack of copied maps under my arm. 30 folks sit in neat rows, Sharon and Carl up front with 3 other board members. Her mid-rant about unauthorized porch lights. She spots me, snaps. Your HOA burned my farm, thinking it was yours. It wasn't. I slapped the county map on a chair, pointing to the creek. Everything east, my coop, garden, barn, is outside your jurisdiction. You had no right. Murmurs ripple through the room. I hold up Sharon's hand-drawn map, her signature scrawled on it. This fake says my whole farm's in Crestview. It's a lie. I play my phone's footage, an HOA truck rolling and post-fire, time-stamped. You did this, and you're liable. Sharon's face goes crimson. That farm was a dump. Smells, noise. Dragging our values down, she shrieks, bracelet jangling. Maria stands, voice sharp. Carl, did you check the boundaries? He stammers. We trusted the zoning. I cut in. You trusted a fraud. I filed a police report today. Trespass, destruction, animal cruelty. Sharon lunges forward. You can't prove we did anything. But I see her eyes flicker, fear. Maria motions to suspend Sharon and Carl, and a guy in a polo seconds it. The room explodes, neighbors shouting, some at Sharon, others at Carl. I walk out, leaving chaos. Knowing I've cracked their throne. That night, Sheriff Hank calls. Fire report says gasoline. Ellie. Looks like arson. My heart stops. Then Tom Ellis, a neighbor 3 doors down. Texts me security footage, 6 a.m., day of the fire, Sharon's SUV parked by my land. Her hauling a gas can. I'm shaking, but it's not enough. Then Carl shows up, looking like he hasn't slept. The board's panicking, he says, sweaty. They want to settle, $60,000 to rebuild. I laugh, cold. My lawyer says it's worth 10 times that. He swallows hard. We only okayed removing your compost and coop, but Sharon, she was gone that morning, came back wired. Fire started right after. My blood runs cold. You saying she said it? He backtracks. I didn't say that, but contractors swear they didn't. I call my cousin, Lena, my lawyer. She brings a PI, Nate, who says, we need more. Next day, and in signed notes under my door. Check the pond behind Sharon's. Nate and I find 2 gas cans in the reeds, and he calls the cops. They raid Sharon's place, hauling out evidence, while she screams I'm framing her. That night. My cameras catch her sneaking onto my land at 2 a.m., planting lighter fluid by my barn ruins. Cops nab her on the spot. Morning breaks, and my phone's blowing up. Lisa's voicemail. Ellie. Your farm's on every news channel. I flip on the TV, see my charred land. The reporter saying, local farmer's property torched by HOA in illegal act. By noon, news vans line my road. And a fundraiser hits $15,000. Lena spreads out maps. The creek saved you, Ellie. It's criminal, arson, trespass, cruelty. We sue the HOA, Carl, Sharon, naming them all. That afternoon, I'm at the sheriff's, watching my forgotten camera's footage, Sharon, gloved, pouring gas on my coop, my garden, lighting a match. Flames leap, and she bolts, scared, as contractors arrive, stunned, and flee. I've known you forever, Ellie, Sheriff Hank says, face dark. This is evil. Hours later, Sharon's in cuffs, news cameras rolling, her face crumpling as neighbors gawk. She's charged with arson, Her text to Carl sealing it. I'll fix the farm before contractors get there. Court's a blur. Sharon's lawyer claims she enforced standards. But the judge isn't having it. By burning land you didn't own? The jury's out 2 hours. Guilty. My lawsuit nets enough to rebuild, with a clause locking my land out of HOA control forever. Sharon serves time, sells her house cheap, and vanishes. The HOA? Half the board quits. Lisa's president now, turning it into something about community, not control. Rebuilding takes months. New coop. Greenhouse, barn, solar panels. Neighbors pitch in. Maria's kids planting tomatoes. A contractor fixing my fence free. 6 months post-fire, I open my farm to the town. Folks marvel at my hands. My veggies, asking about gardening classes I start Saturdays. A year later, sunrise paints my fields gold. My chickens cluck, and neighbors line up for eggs. Lisa's HOA runs a farmer's market with me. Crestview's different. Less lawns, more life. But here's the twist. Carl's folder showed Sharon was a silent partner in a plan to bulldoze my farm for condos. Was her husband's zoning pal in on it? He's still out there, quiet now, but I wonder. My cameras stay on. What do you think? Ever had someone like Sharon try to torture dreams? How'd you fight back? Or would you dig like me till you found their mistake? Share your stories in the comments, and let's talk about what it takes to rise from the ashes when someone burns your world down.